Grow Home is an adventure platformer from developer Ubisoft Reflections. It is available for PC on Steam and at the time of this recording is $7.99. In Grow Home you play as a little robot named Bud, that stands for Botanical Utility Droid. Bud is tasked with bringing life back to his planet and he will do so by growing a giant plant stalk known as the star plant straight into the sky. The main stalk of the star plant grows taller as you ride its offshoots in energy-giving, floating rocks that are located throughout the environment. The shoots have a limited amount of growth, and the rocks become more distant as you progress to new areas. To get to these plants and rocks, Bud must navigate the world through climbing. When you climb, you have separate controls for Bud's left and right arms. I was using a 360 gamepad, so that control is relegated to the left and right triggers. The controls are very simple. Besides the controls for the arms, the only other function you have is the jump button. The simple controls mirror a very simple game. Besides the main task of growing the star plant, you will be collecting crystals, which are used to upgrade Bud. For example, one of the upgrades gives you a jetpack to aid in your mobility. He can also grab one item to carry with him, such as a flower that acts as a parachute. You can also collect flora and fauna which can be sent back to the mothership for data. While the game has a simple premise and control scheme, the challenge comes from the movement and traversal. Bud is gangly and his body sort of bobs and dips, and this appearance translates to the movement. Bud has a weight to him when he moves, like he can't fully support himself. The best way I can describe it is that he walks like he's had a few too many at the bar. When you walk with him, he will not stop immediately. Momentum will carry him forward, and depending on how fast you are going, you'll have to fight to keep him steady, ever mindful of the edge of the platform you are standing on. Climbing also brings its own challenges. As you climb the environment, you must be sure of where your hands are and if you have a good grip, making sure you haven't grabbed onto any loose rocks that will make you lose your grip as soon as you advance. This can become nerve-wracking if you are high in the air and your last checkpoint/teleporter is about a skyscraper's length below you. I ended up falling a lot. Trial and error can become a big theme of the game if you aren't paying attention. Knowing if you have a good grip and position can be made more challenging by the sometimes difficult camera. On more than one occasion I've had to fight it zooming in too close and obscuring my hands. While the camera can be zoomed out, sometimes the angle you were at just couldn't be helped. Grow Home is a beautiful game. It has a bright and vibrant color palette and a low poly look to the textures that really make it stand out. As you make it to a new high point, the graphics make it a real treat when you look over the world and see how far you have climbed. The sound and the music are also both very well done. Bud will chirp and chime in reaction to what's happening around him, a happy chirp when you get a new crystal, and a very distressed chirp when you make a particularly hard landing. And it's all set to a very mellow soundtrack, which I'm convinced was used to would make you unknowingly lower your guard as you were climbing, and then you'd fall off and have to start back up again. Like I said, I fell a lot. Grow Home took me around 8 hours to beat. That was me taking my time, trying to reach as many new rock islands and explore as many caves as I could, all the while trying to get a hold of the 100 crystals strewn about the world. And once you finish your main task, you were given an additional optional mission if you want to keep Bud busy. Overall, Grow Home was an absolute treat to play. It's a very charming game that can be both relaxing and stressful, and with such a low price point and system requirements, it's hard not to recommend it to everyone I can. Do yourself a favor and give it a shot. Grow Home for me gets a 4 out of 5.